Hey guys, how's it going? So we're almost finished with the project. I'm currently just setting up a kind of a secondary lighting thing. Can I have a bit of a play about? Started the stream late just because I wanted to get something blocked out. No idea if this will actually look any good, but it also looks like it's not rendering the depth of field in viewport, which is a shame. So let's turn that off and start proper IPR. But yeah, so I've done a fair bit of work on this while I've been off stream. So I'm just going to save this and start a full IPR, and then we can walk through the pre-done renders in the lighting we were doing before. One sec, there we go. I'm just trying to get my desk set up a little bit. There we go. But yeah, so let's start an IPR. And while that starts, so yeah, this is where I'm at so far. I also need to get a link to this and put it on Facebook. 1 second. I need to mute this as soon as it comes up. There we go. Little lighting and texturing tweaks. There we go. But yeah, so in terms of what I've done off stream, there's a few things. So I'll be going back into Mari today. Hey MF Luck. But yeah, so I'll be going back into Mari today. But in terms of stuff that I did off stream, so I worked a little bit on the sculpt. Just some general stuff. I've added a bit of bump, as in like bumpy sculpting to the ear to kind of make it not as perfectly cylindrical. I've added a bit more kind of bagginess to the top of the eyes, just a tiny bit. She is quite young, but I just needed a little bit of something in there. Map wise, I've made her scalp a little bit more desaturated to kind of, you know, behind your hair you're not getting any sun, so it's a little bit less tan, so I've just desaturated it, and that helps the hair kind of fit in a bit. I've added a little bit of work on the eyebrows, just kind of kinked the ends of some of them and added some extra width to the hairs that blend up, although they're probably a bit too thick now. I've added a bit more density to this side groom. I've filled in some of this hair was like not covering a braid, like you could see, and you can kind of still see it, but there was basically like the hair and then a braid just like sticking out, so I fixed that. I've offset the eyelashes just a little bit to push them into the eyelid. Reason to do that is just so you get a better subsurface response. I've also added a specular roughness map. It turns out I painted one, but I never actually put it on, so I fixed that as well. That's in there now. So now we've actually got control over the roughness around the face. And then I think the final thing is I've added some extra width to the peach fuzz. We do have a little bit of work to do. Not a huge amount. I am pretty much done with this asset, to be honest. Is this not rendering my depth of field anymore? 1 second. Render cam. Why are you not rendering? Oh wait, do I need enable camera projection? Use camera settings. And set that to 5. Cool. Yeah, start another IPR. But yeah, so I'm just trying to figure out more interesting ways to kind of display it now. I quite like the lighting in this angle. Not too keen on this one. Like, it's kind of interesting. Like the cheek looks interesting, like the eye, but overall the image just don't know. It's just not quite working for me. So I kind of want to do something a bit more out there, especially since it's a singer. You can kind of get away with doing quite a lot. So yeah, let's just let that render start. And yeah, once this render started and we can see that not subsurface, once we can see that the depth field is working, I'll open up Mari. We can start do some tweaks in the background while this is rendering. I've probably got too low of an f-stop though, so depth field might be a bit crazy. We'll see. Yeah, is there any there's only 3 people watching. Does anyone have any questions of anything? What else is there? I need to kind of have a look around. So what do we need to do today? So I need to find a way to fix this peach fuzz here, because the peach fuzz is standing out, which is really annoying. Things that I need to do, I need to add a texture for the caruncle, which I think I'll just give it its own texture map. I know that, strictly speaking, I should kind of fit it in the UVs of the head. and then just texture it all together. But in this case, with it being at the very end of a project, and frankly I can't be bothered, I'm just going to put it in Mari as its own object and paint it in there. Maybe even just take it into ZBrush, sculpt and paint in one go. And the teeth need a texture as well. Other than that, I'm debating adding a little bit of lip gloss, and we do need to add some makeup just in here. She does have a little bit of makeup in the ref. That's just on the outside, so I haven't decided if I want to do that as a proper makeup shader, or if I'm just going to add some colour to the skin. Strictly speaking, I should do a shader. How's this doing? Oh, great. I don't know what's going on with this guy. Let's try something. Add these as renderable cameras. And I've got a feeling this is too low, so I'm going to increase that anyway. And again, try another render. If this doesn't work, then I'll have to just leave it alone. Why it's so small? I think the lighting might be quite interesting though. Just having something that's not a regular 3-point. But yeah, so I guess while that's loading, I might as well get Mari open. So let's get Mari. Yeah, so close to finishing this project, I frankly can't wait to finish it. There we go. So this is my spec roughness map, I think. We've got our... I think this one can be deleted now, actually. Because if I remember correctly, this wasn't working. I'll leave it alone, just in case. We got our colour. Colour we can leave pretty much alone at this point. I am really debating adding the makeup in here though, and obviously we've desaturated the skull. Maybe it's a bit heavy-handed. The front is definitely weird, like I doubt this would be the blend, but it's mostly hidden behind hair. I just needed it mainly for the side views, because with fully saturated skin the side view looked just strange. So let's get into Spec R. It's that one, that's one I want to change. I'm going to add a little bit more gloss to the lips. So the way I've got it set up at the moment is I'm just taking my regular spec map, moving it over here. So this is my spec map. Then I'm inverting it and kind of decontrasting it to get to around a value of 0.35, because that's the roughness I was using in my shader. So it's like averages out as 0.35. And then I'm going in adding dry sections, which I think is just the top of the ear, and then I'm also going in and adding wet sections, which is at the moment just the eye. I'm going to add a lip roughness as well. Let's create a merge. Spec R lips. Create a color node. Somewhere like there, so 0.10. And then let's create a paint node. This is going to be quite low detail, so let's do a 1K for now. Let's check on that. Yeah, depth of field isn't rendering in this camera. Weird. Either way, the lighting in general is interesting. So still need to figure out how I want to present these. I think I'll go with kind of this, and once I've had time to tweak it, like actually make it look good, because this gets the general idea across, but it's not visibly working for me yet. Like, it doesn't feel right. I think I need a background or some rim lighting for this to properly work. Because currently all the lights are either just off to the side, the screen left, or just in front of her to her left. So there's nothing actually behind her at the moment. So her back would be pretty much black. That brings out a lot back here. Weird. But yeah, I just want to quickly test the eye in this lighting. I just think it'd be quite fun to have like one side of her face lit one way and one side lit another. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. The lighting setup, if it is open Maya, it's going to turn off the field for now. So, oh, I've just got the brightness set too low. But yeah, so I do have a room light, it's just too dim. But yeah, this is the general lighting at the moment. So this is my blue light. This is a room light, so it's a general kind of quite warm bulb. This isn't set to a real value by any stretch. I don't think this is a tungsten or anything like that. Then I've got this bright pink, literally the primary pink, this guy. And then this rim, which needs to be made stronger, and also probably have the angle adjusted. I think one of my issues at the moment is all the lighting is coming from either level or above. Kind of want something that comes from below a little bit. But yeah, so let's close that, and let's get the lip painted. So let's go into painting. Then we're going to need masking. Edge mask, there it is. Cool. And let's go into shelf, personal, super soft. Love the super soft brush. And let's paint in black, so I need to paint white. I'll fix the edge masking in a second. Oop. There we go, something like that. Bake that in. Change angle just so we can get the rest of it. Now what I'm going to do, just to make sure that's like got all of the lips, is going to go into this view and do this. Let's turn the flow up just so I can paint it super quick. Pick that in. And we need to get the inside of the mouth as well, don't we? Which is this guy. Granted, you can't see it, but just for the sake of OCD. Yeah, what I planned for was the caruncles to go in this UV slot. Oh, my left click is stuck again. Let's see if we can get this stuck out. 1 second. There we go. Should be better. Cool. So, that'll do for now. Let's go in perspective. I'm going to make this less sharp in a second. Just do something like that. Let's just reduce the flow again. Big brush. So I think that roughness is too low. Oh. So what we can do is just get this guy. So I only want it to be a subtle change. The roughness of everything else is 0.35. So if I just put it somewhere like 0.25, that might be okay. And I also need to remove some spec from, because I sent this to a friend and got a bunch of notes. I have already done a pass, but apparently not enough. I need to remove the spec from this kind of crevice here. It just looks a bit distracting at the moment. So I've already done a pass, but not enough apparently. So let's go into, I also need to clean this out. Node graph's pretty big. Times like now it'd be really nice to have the radio transmitter nodes from the Mari extension pack, but because I'm using non-commercial Mari I can't use it. Right, I need to name these layers as well. So that's nose, crease, nose, crease, D-spec. It's not the best name, but it works. And then it's set to black, so it's literally just my painting that needs to improve. Like that. I'm like 99% sure that this is completely inaccurate to how spec map should look. But I've always been in the camp of if it looks good, then it is. Like, it doesn't matter if it's accurate or not. Apparently I painted into this one, that's kind of bad. Just need a bit more spec on the eye. Just add a bit more whiteness in there. That side's okay. Right, so that looks ridiculous. But if it removes the spec, it removes the spec. Although I do really want to blend that out a little bit more. I feel like a cavity map would be better suited for this. So let's give those a go. Export flattened, export current channel. Replace all those. So I'm just looking for ref for the caruncle. Something that shows me more the forms. Okay, so that's exported. Let's get this map exported. Export flattened. Export everything flattened. We need to kind of zone up the head as well. Oh, no. Export current channel flattened. There we go. Yeah, we do need to kind of break up the spec map on the face, or the roughness map on the face. So it's a bit flat. It does have a tiny amount of variation, but probably not enough. In fact, let's quickly test this out. So I got my levels. So 2849. Okay, so let's set you to 55. Let's set you to 23. No. 21. This would have a bit more contrast than that. I might give that a go instead. Export flattened. Export contrast flattened. If it doesn't work, we can always put it back to what it is. So I think this lighting is the one that's easiest to see what's going on. So what I'll do is go render man, tools, texture manager, pick directory, go to texturing, FKA twigs, head, spec needs to be updated, and so does spec R. And while those update, I'm just going to set back to lighting A, and I just need to rotate this around. So set you to camera A, and this needs to be set to -30, and everyone needs to be set to -90. And then what we'll do is just kind of periodically check on this. 2 more channels to go, or 2 more images. They're probably done already though, so let's get an IPR going, render man, IPR, and just drag this to the end. Hey Ian, how you doing? Yeah, once this is done, gonna go in and texture the caruncle and then texture the teeth, because once I've done both of those, I can start to be like, okay, this is done. Like obviously I can keep tweaking forever. There's still quite a lot wrong with it that I can't quite put my finger on, but once I've done those 2 tasks, I've kind of done everything. It's just a case of iterations. Lip is a lot glossier now. So let's go through one area at a time. So we added a little bit more spec to the eye, so let's check that. Didn't really make much of a difference. Oh, because I only kind of expanded it and I didn't do a value change. Let's check the forehead for the reflection change and see if it's something I prefer. Just kind of gets brighter, really, doesn't it? And let's get this region. I should have really extended that to get the nose, shouldn't I? While I'm at it, may as well get the lips. So we got this out now. It's good. As hacky as the method is, it works. So increasing the spec glossiness has brought out quite a few details on the lip as well, because one of the other notes I got, I sent them to this guy called Sean. I've got like a text document on my desktop with like loads of notes. One of his was to get more detail on the lip, so I think the glossiness will kind of solve that. Because that brings out some of the smaller aspects of the disc. So that looks like it's working. This would be interesting to see, but I'm not going to re-render just for that. Wait, was the... I think the depth field might have been working. But only this is out of focus. Oh, this stuff out. Oh, so it was working, it was just way too subtle. Either way, right, so that's kind of working in a way that I quite like. Another thing I need to do as well is kind of, in fact, because it's a quick win, I'm going to go in and quickly bend some of these around. Only subtle, like I don't want to do anything too major, but they're too identical at the moment. So this one's floating out too much, so let's just pull him in a little bit. And then I'm just going to kind of grab sections of them, like this, and just do something like that, like just twist it a little bit. Just so it's not perfect, you know? Because they're only tiny, and I'm not entirely convinced they're actually made of metal. I'm 99% sure they're plastic, so they bend quite a bit. Because this sort of stuff, no one will notice, but it will make the very slightest difference, and it's a quick thing to do, so I don't see any reason not to. Let's go with this bottom bit, actually. And let's put the pivot there. Curl it up a little bit, twist it around a bit, twist that. We also need to add some adhesive to the back of them, but we'll see if that's worth doing. Maybe it's only worth doing for like the ones on the silhouette and the renders. These hairs are definitely too thick as well. Need to reduce those. So let's get you. I'm just going to randomly scale some of them as well. Why did I double click there? Yeah, like even just that might do something for us. Come on, there we go. Just get a super small like kink in this one. Come on, there we go. See if that works. Let's say see if that works as if we'll see anything change. Alright, so caruncles, I guess. Then next thing. So do we need to re-topologize them? We need to go into ZBrush now that much. So let's get FKA twigs, temp group. Know that they're still in here. I'll need some sculpting, I think. Let's go to UV editor. Okay. I don't have UVs. I can auto UV them in ZBrush though. So let's go File, Export Selection, Modeling, Export. Caruncle Geo. And what are teeth doing while I'm at it? Yeah, they're super high poly. Right, okay, so ZBrush. Open file. Have you started the new gig at Blue Zoo? No, I've still got 1 day left at NPC, and then I've got a week off. Woo! Yeah, so tomorrow's my last day, and then the week after I'm off, and then I get my first day at Blue Zoo is on the 1st of September. So I just need to get set up for remote work and that sort of stuff. I also need to buy a second monitor, because I got to send one back to NPC. I had a second monitor, but I donated it to Becca. It is a worthy cause. Right, so so let's import so for some reason transparent doesn't actually work, so I'm going to need to get my pure ref up as well, aren't I? While that's loading, save this, close, start an archive going. FKA twigs, texturing, Mori archives, and just override the latest one. Cool. So, there's a new version of PureRef. So, load recent. Can we see anything of the caruncle? Not really. I'm going to put that on my second screen. One thing I'm looking forward to though is having 2 color correct screens. Right, so I think what we're going to need is like a slightly blobby. I could even use the blob brush. Let's give it a go. Obviously it destroys the topology, but I'm not worried about topology. I can just, you know, I don't have anything tied to it. Right, let's Geometry, delete lower, I guess. Dynamesh. Nope, monkey. There we go. Delete lower, set you to 400. Dynamesh. Oh, I've got this set to turn that off. How does inflate work with the blob brush? Horribly. Also, this is rattling a lot. Let's just move. Sorry, I just need to move the desk around a little bit. There we go. So if this doesn't work, I'm just trying to like stubbornly get the blob brush to do what I want. But I don't think it will. I think it just needs to go in with a clay brush. So let's do that. So we see more around us. There's really not much else to it. I'm gonna try to find some super high res ref of caruncles. Setting. No, tools. Set to large images. Adding macro to your Google searches helps so much. Open image in new tab. That's kind of helpful. So it's like a little bit of a tuck in here. Just do something like that. Pretty sure most of this is out of view, but just in case it isn't, let's add a little bit of an overhang, just for something interesting. Then where's the tear duct? Is it in the caruncle? Oh, it's a bit repetitive now, so let's do that. Bit too intense, so let's calm that down a bit. And then just go in with smooth that out. So I need to reduce the volume change. Something like that works better. So that's one done. Let's get this side now. Is the good ref for the other side? So this one's super bulbous. so visibly lost right now. There we go. Just do something like that. Put a U in. I'm going to add a little bit of something. Let's go with the standard brush. Just get some more interesting forms in the area. So that's too strong. And that bulbous shape is too round that way. It's pretty straight in the actual ref. So what we can do is just add more volume to make it feel bulbous this way. It's not pretty. It's not anatomically accurate, but it does the job. Snake hook. One bigger than the other by too much. Look about fine to me. I think what I need to do now is just kind of round it off. It's like round it off with that volume in mind. So just like pull that in, pull that in, and then round that. Smooth it way out. Dynamic. Reduce it a lot more than that. I just don't want there to be too much extra volume around it. At another point, what we'll have to do is get the thickness of this section right, so that we get proper subsurface. There's some stuff that for look dev to look right, you just have to dedicate the time to get the model correct. Like lazy modeling will only ever make look dev more difficult. So, and currently I am very much lazy modeling, so I need to make sure I kind of spend the time needed. So let's just go back into here. Just do something like that. Put you back. Don't know what you're doing here. That's too much volume. Let's pull that in a little bit, flatten that out. In fact, no, let's not flatten that out entirely. Let's just ramp this in a bit more, and then cut it way over damn standard. And something I want to do, just for a little something in there, let's go drag rectangle, get the vein alpha wherever that's at. There it is. Super low Z intensity. Ain't gonna work, is it? Right, let's leave that. I'll do some fancy procedural stuff instead. Right, so let's duplicate you. Hide everything else. Solo, geometry. Let's go with zero mesher. Set you to 5,000 polygons. Zero mesh. Next time I do a photoreal digitable, which is going to be a while because I don't want to spend 3 months on a project again for a bit. But once I do, I'm going to try to model the caruncle into the head mesh, which I think is how it should be done anyway. Let's go even higher res. You could do this with literally like 200 polys if you hand re-topo it, but that's not what I'm about. Not right now. Alright, so let's just subtool, project, and turn off color, project. Cool, now I can delete these. And we have our it'll work. Yeah, so we've got more interesting caruncles now. So let's go into geometry, free subdivision levels, Z plugin, UV master, and turn off symmetry, unwrap. How are you working? Flatten. Good enough for me. Unflatten. Okay, so export. In fact, now I need to turn off all the other settings first. Turn off group, turn on smooth normals, export, spot you over caruncle. Yes. Then let's see plugin. I don't think we need displacement yet, so I'm gonna save this scene. Cool. So, I've already exported it. Save the scene. Let's get back into Maya. File, import. Windows, general editors namespace. What mesh is on these? Temp fleshy. Just get that on there. Existing, temp fleshy. And we can delete you, drop you in. Oh, that's temp cam. Go. This side's fine. Then let's get into Mari. Bring in another object. Although I could probably do it in Substance a little bit quicker. Although I guess in Mari I've got all the nodes to show me what colours I'm using. So it's safer just to stay in there. So let's set you to coal. Perspective. Then go into objects, add object. Did not bring the UVs with it. Okay, let's duplicate you. Geometry, delete higher, Z plugin, UV master, flatten, okay. And wrap. Z plugin, flatten, cool, and flatten. Which one of these has UVs? So, you are the correct one. Should divide you twice. And delete this one. And you should have UVs now. Okay, well let's try it. Export. Add object. There we go, it's got UVs this time. Perspective. Let's just try, in fact no, let's not. File, import. Temp fleshy, where you at? a channel. Call you Col. 1K should be more than enough. 512 is probably even enough. Cool. Node graph. Color. So what color am I using in here? I can kill this now as well. Save the scene. You alright, Becca? Hey little man, how you doing? Temp fleshy, what colour are you set to? Subsurface. Okay. So this is the colour we want to go for. That can be our light colour. In fact, now let's go with more saturated than we need. And let's add a merge. Color. Yeah, I mean, you get used to working in loads of softwares over time, Oscar. So
it's fun to like try and get rid of all the softwares.
what, just work in one software?
No, like for example, explaining to the guy, this girl that I'm talking to. And obviously, I don't want to like overload and get like a million softwares.
Yeah, it can be tricky. I wonder if it's worth just projecting the image. In fact, let's start with projection. I don't know why I'm doing it like this. So let's I'm confusing myself right now. I need to delete that. And let's go to the image manager, bring you in, no, bring you in. This probably won't work that well because we've got a lot of spec in there, but it will give me a proxy for the colors at least. Something like that. And let's go to the object manager and just hide you for a second. Okay, drop you back in. Alright, so let's hide the head. Because what we can do now is just color pick what we want. Because it's quite noisy, and that's the problem we got. So let's go back into node editor, call this projection base. Base. Let's get rid of that capital A. How much of this stuff did you learn during uni and how much during your work life? You didn't study game and animation VFX any sort, right? No, I did study. I spent 5 years, 2 years in college and then 3 years in university. I kind of picked up the basics of Mari. We were shown Mari like once. It was quite an underwhelming lesson. So I just kind of learnt it myself by just kind of fucking about, to be honest. Mainly in third year of uni. A lot of the stuff I know is just from messing about. Like, I genuinely don't know like the in-depth, like correct ways to work in a lot of these tools because I never learned them from a professional. I just kind of messed about until something looked good. Let's just go with merge. But yeah, in terms of Mari stuff, I haven't learned a huge amount of Mari since becoming a professional because most of the stuff that I'm doing is stuff that I already knew how to do out of uni. Let's do a color for now. Let's go with a dark fleshy color. Somewhere like there. And I'm just going to boost it up a little bit. Cool, now let's do a paint. Cool. Let's paint you white. It's your chat.
It's not?
I'm pretty sure it is.
Honestly, because I've been checking, because I thought that. That's not.
So I need to turn off the, let's go to objects. Lock U, because I don't trust myself. Go to painting, turn off edge mask. And then node graph, and you back in. What I might do is finish one side, test it, and then can paint the other side once I've got it working. I don't know why it zooms out so far. Right, so we need a...
See, it's not a shot, because nobody I know is messaging you like that.
What is it you're clicking while this is happening?
It's off, like all the sound. My laptop sounds off. Oh. I honestly don't know what it is.
Alright, so this is flashy dark. Flash dark. Then we need to create a new one, merge. Oh. Color for an over. No, not you. That'd be why I had that issue. Spec's a bit heavy. Shaders. So not for now. Just quickly paint the rounder areas. Organic brushes, sponge. Let's go with a low flow. Shaders. Let's add a render shaders. Let's just use an AI standard surface and go with, does it do subsurface or could do transmission sky? I'll just plug it into diffuse. Oh, that's diffuse weight. So, nope. Oh, you're nothing plugged into you anyway. Right, so Mari surface, nope. Shader. Spec IOR, set you to 335. You're like a 3D mechanic. When something doesn't work for me, I have to watch tuts for hours, and I watch people literally doing the same thing, but on my screen stuff behaves differently. Oh wait, I missed some stuff. Yeah, but you have a deep technical, profound understanding of how things work. Oh, that's an illusion, my dude. If something doesn't work the way you expect, you fiddle around a bit and you know what's going on. Like a 3D mechanic, blah, blah, blah. I already read that bit. Mostly start over and out of magic. Either things work or they don't. I'm totally fine with spending our time learning. Yeah, I mean, it takes a long time. Like I started in 2012. Like I'm not exactly old in the industry, but like I have been doing this for a while at this point. I really genuinely wouldn't worry too much about not understanding stuff yet. It takes years. Some people don't get it for a very long time.
Howdy.
Becca's been doing it for 4 years and she worries that she's not like knowing everything yet. She will.
Do you want to see this adorable thing?
No.
Please.
Ah. One sec. I'm just trying to get this to work. There we go. It's working. 1 second. What's it? Aww. It's adorable. You need to crank that though.
Crank what?
The depth of it. Is that displacement?
Yeah.
Yeah, really crank it.
Like the amount?
Yeah, you'd be shocked how much you have
It's
to push it.
shrinking though.
It's shrinking. That means you've just got too many negative values.
Yeah, but that is this.
Zoom in. You need to have a diffuse that has black in the darker bits, or adding ambient inclusion to it in the colour.
Oh, you mean in the colour itself?
Yeah.
This one's
No, definitely not. Also, make sure you got enough subdivisions. How many do you have?
That should be right.
How many do you have? How many subdivisions do you have? So on your object, you turn subdivision on, but you set a max number, right? So you go into the object shape. No. Use in the right place. Are you rendering redshift? Okay, so where's subdivision? Max subdivisions increase there.
6 is not. We don't even go in one more.
Okay. Then could you show me the map?
It's behaving the way I was thinking it behaving.
Yeah. Just feels a bit pointy. And your map did look pointy. Can you show me the map?
Yeah, it's like
Sure. I'd also recommend plugging your displacement into bump and just setting it super subtle. It tends to give quite a nice effect sometimes, as long as it's not too strong. Then once you've got that, turn to subsurface and reduce the spec, and you'll be golden. So something like that we'll do as a proxy. Let's turn the other objects on. In fact, actually, let's paint you in first. But yeah, Oscar, like, the reason I know what's happening under the surface is because I've broken it more times than you have. That's literally all it comes down to. Like, because I've broken Maya more often, I've learned what is broken. Because over time what will happen is you'll break it 1,000 times, and then one of those times you'll remember what you was doing when it broke, and then the third time after that you'll be doing the same thing. But oh right, okay, so anytime I do this it's breaking. Then you just Google why that breaks it, and more often than not in like old forums like CG Society and Polycount, I guess Polycount's still alive but it's pretty much dead, you'll always find people like, oh yeah, it's just this setting here, or oh it's just a stack underflow, whatever, it doesn't matter. But yeah, like the only reason I'm able to fix stuff quickly is because I've broken stuff more times than, like, if you've only got a year, I've broken it more times than you've even tried it. That's just kind of the nature of it. I've been doing it for longer, so I've broken it so many times. I'll say I've broken it. Maya likes to break itself, so we're kind of in a grey area there. I'm gonna go over to my brushes. Okay, Becca? Right, so next thing. Let's go into objects again. Camera's really difficult in Mari sometimes. It's almost like it's intentionally difficult for you. And I've got it set to the Maya preset, so it should be, well, rotation wise it is the same as Maya, but behavior-wise, I don't really like the Mari camera. It leaves a lot to be desired. Alright, so, oh, there we go, it's gone again. It's really hard to figure out where the pivot is. The pivot, it's like the pivot is slightly further back than it should be. Like my pivot seems to be on the camera right now. Yeah, it's gone again. No, when I say like CG forums, I'm not saying post to those. I'm saying just look through them, because normally whatever problem you're having, chances are it's not unique. It's something that's happened to everyone else like 1,000 times. And on Facebook, there's loads of so you're looking for like a Discord. There's loads of groups on Facebook like 10,000 hours and level up and 3D modeling and animation. So you can just use one of those. And shaders. Why is that? Oh, I hate the Mari camera. Literally all I want to do is just move to the side and it won't. There we go. Oh, there it goes. It just speeds up every now and then. I really dislike it. Node. Paint white in you. Oh, not like that though. Let's go into organic brushes again. Pick the sponge again. Massively lower the flow. And what I'll do at some point is I'll replace the color with a cloud to get like random variation. So let's bake that out. And then yeah, there's really not a good community. Like there used to be Lunch Crunch. Lunch Crunch was amazing. Like I really miss Lunch Crunch. The forum's still alive, but the Facebook groups are long dead at this point. And they were incredible. Like they were the go-to place for me, but they didn't survive. Just increase that flow a bit. Need to add like a pinker, less orange pass. Well, let's see if that works. It looks super asymmetrical, like a bit too asymmetrical, so I'm gonna fix that quickly. Just do that. And then there's a very slight, so getting the reference up for a second, there's like this weird little dot here, like a cross. So I need to do that. So let's just soften that in. increase the flow quite a lot, and I'm just going to put that it's like this patch. I think it's further over this way. And we just need some more variation within this colour. Something like that works quite nicely. I thought that's a bit better. So let's export you. And I'm just going to create a there we go. We'll need some normal breakup just to get the spec kind of working for us. So let's go into here. Let's get I need to set these back to 0 rotation, aren't I? Okay, so let's select the caruncle. Solo you for a second. I'm going to add a new material. BXDF. Fix our surface. Do we have presets? We don't have presets. Alright, so diffuse down to 0. Set you to a PXR texture. Set you to UDIM. Cool. Linearize. That will generate something for us. Then go into the material again. We need to name this guy, so let's call it PXR caruncle. How did I name all the other? Did I put PXR all caps? No, I didn't. I put an underscore. Cool. So we're going to need some spec. Put that up there. So the roughness to like 0.5 for like a fleshy thing. Put that there. IOR. Let's set to about 0.14. And then let's add a clear coat on top. Physical, super bright, very little roughness. Then refraction index for you should be water. 1.335. So let's set you to exponential path trace. Gain up. Directionality I'm going to increase slightly. Mean free path, I can't remember if I have to set something for that off the top of my head. Trace controls, don't need anything in there. Diffuse blend, I'm going to add a small amount. And then free path distance, let's set you to 2. And let's see how that looks. We also just hit scene 100 for groom, which isn't a groom thing anymore. It would be nice if there was a format that combines textures with 3D procedural stuff, i.e. cloth texturing. So you wouldn't want a format that does that, because there'd be too much going on. Generally, the best approach for look dev when you're building things procedurally is to have a separate node or a separate texture for each effect that you want. so that you have full control over it. If you have like a format that combines textures, like, I mean, you could just use a blend texture that puts several different textures together. Texturing XYZ did do some nice cloth maps. Of course, I made some cloth maps as well ages ago. Texturing XYZ ones are a bit more accurate than mine. Mine are a bit more kind of, they expected you to do more work, and the XYZ ones are like, they're more rigid. You can't do much with them other than the exact cloth that they are modeled after. But they look really, really good. Right, so let's set you to render cam A. Oh. Set you back to perspective. And then lighting A is visible. Okay, IPR that. And now is where we find out that the textures are completely wrong. Yeah, the XYZ stuff is nice. The timing of it was so funny, like I ended up making their tutorials for them. Looking back, I wish I had charged, because I did it for... I was a silly student. I did it for the exposure and for payment in texturing XYZ, like free texturing XYZ textures. I think I got 150 quid worth, which isn't much for about an hour's worth. Oh, what did you do with lighting? Oh, well, I'm trying to find a more interesting setup. So currently, I really like the lighting for this. Like, I think this looks quite interesting. But I feel like this doesn't look as interesting. Like, this on its own looks quite cool, the way it's like rimlet and this highlight on the nose. But the image as a whole doesn't feel that good to me, like having all this on the side. It kind of works in its own way, but I prefer something more interesting. So this is what I'm going to go with for the side view. Because I think this just looks cool. I'll find a background to put with it or something. I don't really care what, to be honest. Maybe even won't put a background, who knows. But yeah, so I want to do something interesting with this. I'm going to refine this a bit more because this isn't really working for me yet. The colors in general are cool. But yeah, it's not 100% there yet. But this, to me, like, again, hit this. Basically, if I was to crop here, it looks cool to me. But we're not cropping there, we're cropping there, so... right, is this working? I've forgotten what I did. Oh yeah, caruncles. Oh, I need to hide the meniscus, aren't I? So a hacky thing I did earlier that's now going to bite me on the arse is I made the meniscus blurry. Oh, it's so much better. So we're going to have to get rid of the blurry thing on the meniscus. So it's too dark. I think the light value is okay. I've just taken it too far this way, and I need to smooth out the model a little bit because that bumps a bit too much. Just I just got an infection. And then the other eye. Let's check you out. I've still got meniscus on that side, so let's hide that. In fact, let's make those visible, but then hide that group. This side is more acceptable. It's still a bit too dark. but it's closer. So let's make the meniscus visible again and just quickly fix their shader. I'm keeping the history on it for now because I want to be able to undo the the stuff that's in my head and I can't get out in words. Where's my glass section? There it is. So set U to like there. That's a super smart way to do caruncle textures. I think Little Men is really far behind in the stream. But I'm glad he's liking what he's seeing. Right, so I should remove the roughness entirely, shouldn't I? Oh, he was only listening, okay. Did I do what in ZBrush? Sorry. The textures. Textures were in Mari. It's the sculpting. I'll need to go back into ZBrush to get this sculpted correctly. But I'll fix the textures first. Granted, the lighting's different now, so I do need to kind of get that right. I think value-wise, the light isn't far off. Let's just go back over to this side. Yeah, so this side needs to be a little bit brighter on the inside. It's actually more of a pink shade. And this side needs to be way brighter, like way, way brighter. So let's kill that. Back into Mari. So all we need to do, because the way we set this up, is set the color of this guy to be a brighter value. So I'm going to need to paint him in quite a bit, I think. Something like that should be better. And this side needs to be a lot lighter, but let's paint out this guy first. And then all I'm going to do is just add this guy in considerably more, on this side at least. And then I'll have to kind of go in and paint out some of those lines. There's some very subtle lines on this side, like you can see something there, something there, something there. So I'll paint those in. So you need a dark section here. Let's turn this up. Followed by a dark section that's kind of doing that. I'm just going to block out the lines first, and then dark section is doing that, and then this inside edge has basically none of this stuff. Caruncles are this section of the eye, basically. And I just need to make this slightly brighter. I should be a bit closer. Let's see if we're right doing. I need to soften that out a bit. Sorry for having sex with your chat. Don't worry, man. So the thing I'm working on right now is that. I could do with a beer right now. I'm gonna be having quite a bit of beer tomorrow. We're doing like a leaving drinks for NPC. Obviously, like we can't go to a pub or anything. I mean, we could go to a pub, but honestly, I'd rather not go to a pub. Given the whole global pandemic thing. So we're gonna have a few people kind of meet in the park. I feel like that should work quite well. Just need to soften that in. Cool, so let's give that a go. Export flattened. Cool, that's already done. Render man, tools, texture manager. Is caruncle there? There it is. Cool, that's already done. I don't know why I'm saving my Maya scene. I've literally not done any work in it, but let's start that PR. And while I get started, I'm going to go get some drink. Don't have any alcohol, sadly. Of course the render hasn't started. Beautiful. Oh yeah, I updated the playlist with all the videos and ran it through a thing online that lets you find out the length of a YouTube playlist, and we're now at 102 hours of streams, which is just dumb. Like, seriously. There we go. That's a bit better. This size is now lacking detail because I've gone too far on painting shit. Not as if it just painted the same value everywhere, so I need to remedy that. Right. The question is now, do I texture the teeth just to get something blocked out for that? This side just looks a bit dumb. It's just a bit too flat, isn't it? Okay, let's kill that. Back into you. I need to get more variation on this guy. So let's add super white there. And let's... I don't care if it's not accurate to what's in the ref, I just need more information. Something like that might be fine. Although it might be a bit strange. That's something. Just like tiny little veiny details, it doesn't need to be intricate. Oh, wrong. And we need some more variation within this as well. So let's just get a nice low flow. Paint it back in afterwards. You may notice there's really not much structure to my brush strokes right now. That is intentional. I don't want control, because as I've said many times in previous streams, like, humans are really, really bad. Well, generally speaking, humans are really, really bad at making things look natural. The more control you have, the more you're going to look for patterns, and that isn't how nature works. Like, if you're making it while looking for patterns, then you're doing too much. Generally speaking, your brain will find patterns in anything anyway. It doesn't mean they're inherently there. So whenever I'm painting, I don't like to think, oh yeah, Y shape. Like, I didn't think about that. Now that I see it, I kind of want to break it up a bit, but I'm going to intentionally not break that up. Yeah, so I do have a really strong model bump. I don't know if you'll be able to see it without spec, but there is like quite a big like mound here basically. That's too much breakup. This bit looks very fake. Something like that will fix it. Yeah, that fixes it. Alright, cool. So let's export you again. Cool. Back into Maya. Renderman. In fact, I'm going to hide the grooms while I do all this. Just to speed it up a little bit. tools, texture manager, get my caruncle. That's already done. And then give this some time to start again. Switch guitar. In fact, I'm gonna play the baritone. Because I'm between jobs next week, I'm really tempted to buy something new for the guitar. I don't know if to go down like a new amp or new guitar. This side I care about right now. Looks weird without the eyelashes. What types of guitars do you have? So I have a few at the moment. I'm thinking of selling quite a few of them. So I have my first guitar sat under my bed, which is like 10 years old now. Well, I bought it 10 years ago. It's probably older than that still. Well, that's working. That was interesting. But yeah, so I've got my first guitar, which is sat under my bed. I've got a acoustic that I bought 8 years ago, which is a Gretsch. I've got an Epiphone Les Paul that I bought 7 years ago. I think 7 years ago? No, I bought it in 2012, so 8 years ago. I have the baritone that I'm playing at the moment. Yes, I'm playing a Dan Electro baritone at the moment, which I bought back in September. It's probably the cheapest guitar I own, bar my first guitar. And other than that, I've got my two main ones. So I've got an Ibanez AZ Prestige, which is like a Japanese custom made. Well, I say custom made. It's made by their custom people in Japan, which is probably my easiest to play guitar, but it's not my favorite guitar. My favorite guitar is my Fender Custom Shop. So I got a Fender Custom Shop Strat, which is based on a 1959 Stratocaster, and that's my main guitar. It's also by far the most expensive thing I own, bar my workstation. But yeah, it's I really do like that thing. So the caruncles are working for me now. They're not perfect, but they work. Audio interface. I do have an audio interface. I'm just not plugged in right now. So basically, for an amp, what I use at the moment is bias effects. So I'll just open that up, put it on screen for a second. This is what I use as my amp. So it's just got the Fuzzy Boy preset. But yeah, I tend to set everything up in here. It sounds really nice. I do like bias effects, but I do need to kind of upgrade, I think. I'm debating either getting a tube amp, which would be... It would sound the best, but the issue I get with that is that I live in basically a one-room apartment, so I can't just play a tube amp whenever I want, because they can only go so quiet. Like, once they get really quiet, they sound really bad. The other path I could go is by getting a Kemper or a Helix or an Axe Effects, which are like digital processors, but like really, really high-end ones. And I am thinking about getting a Helix, because that I could play, put headphones in, play whatever volume I want, and it comes with hundreds of amps built in, well, 63 amps built in, loads of effects, loads of cabinets, loads of microphones. And I've already got all the hardware that I need to use it. Ever play some flamenco? No, not my thing. I've played a few classical guitars, but it's just not really my kind of taste. But yeah, the baritone I'm playing at the moment is quite fun. I can't do bends on it because, well, I can do bends on it, but they're just not that comfortable because it's a baritone and they're not really meant for it. But I think chords sound beautiful in this way. Like, really, if you have chords with open strings like this one, but I just think they sound quite nice. Yeah, there we go. Alright, so let's see how this looks with groom around it, because the shadows will help. It's also probably the most harmonically well-made guitar, because I don't know if it's a baritone thing, but it's really, really good with natural harmonics. Like, they're just so resonant, which is funny considering it's like the cheapest guitar, like build-wise. Like, they're intentionally badly built. They're pretty much built, well, they're not built the same way, but they Dan Electro is a really cool guitar, so, well, really cool brand. They were made as like a catalog, like kind of in America you've got shopping places like Sears. Oh yeah, I know of Etius Tone, or Estes Tone. He's really, really good. I've seen quite a few videos of him play. It's one thing he plays called like the Dragon, or it's got Dragon in the name. I'm fairly sure, and that thing is just beautiful. Alright, so let's delete you, delete you, delete you. There we go, so we've got a little bit of variation in there now. And let's check how the lip gloss is working. So we did increase the, well, decrease the roughness. The main effect is just going to be making stuff brighter, but it does a really good job of enhancing details. I need to get some displacement on these guys soon. So even though I've warped them, they're still a bit too perfect. Looks interesting though. So next thing is teeth, right? Oh, I'm gonna hate this. So. The Song of the Golden Dragon. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, I really couldn't. I don't. It's not my kind of music, so I don't like really listen to it very often. But that song is beautiful. Like, he is very, very talented. Also, Oscar, you're good at this lighting and camera stuff. What is it visually that holds this lighting back at the moment? For me, it feels like there's just too much of the screen. Like, it would be worth putting like a gobo or just a light blocker to kind of fade out the back of the head. Like if I had like a soft gradient away from the face, that could look quite cool. But you know, I think to me that's what feels like it would fix it. Like if the hair was almost fading into the background, that would make it look quite visually striking, unless I get some kind of background, but currently it's just too much blue. But if you think there's something else that's causing it to not read that well, then let me know, because your eye for this stuff is pretty decent. My eye is still learning. In terms of what I want to do to a teeth, add variation. You see how he's like yellow, a little bit of blue, a little bit of red, but that's subsurface from the teeth. You can also see the gum, which my gum isn't visible yet. It's too high up. I kind of want to darken the corners of the mouth like this. I think that'll look quite interesting. Right, so try that back over there. So you seem to be quite into like fairly traditional types of music. Like there's that Irish, well, flute. I think they're an Irish band, but is that flute thing you sent me a little while ago, which has a very like kind of folky sound to it. Like it's definitely modernized, but there's a huge influence of folk. Archive. Alright, so ZBrush time. I'm so excited to be done with this project. Like it's not even funny. So I need to find a dental cast to get a feel for how teeth are sculpted. So I might get some images I really don't like. Surprisingly not. Okay, so the shape of teeth, how are they? I feel like a dental cast would be a lot easier to see the shapes than an actual picture of teeth. It's not looking as strong as your front facing. I'd have to look and send you a good photograph of camera strafing. Yeah, it's fair enough. Yeah, the front one's working a lot better. Well, front lighting is looking a lot better. I think it's because the front lighting has contrast. Like it's very strong shadows being cast. You get a feel for a lot of the forms. Whereas this, it's quite flat lit. Like the only real depth you get is around the eye and the corner of this mouth. Which is why I'm thinking maybe having a gobo would help. You know, it could be quite cool. Let me try something. I really want to try an effect and see if it looks any good. Right, so it's open file. Could be cool to have it like disintegrate into the background. Like, I can't really paint this sort of stuff on command, but something like that could look quite interesting, I think. It's just a case of figuring out what would make it look, and what lines does it need to work. Could be, maybe the thing that she does with her hair could be a good way to disintegrate it. But you get the idea. I think something like that. Because that as an image, like ignoring the broken up edge, just going to black, this looks so much more interesting than that. But maybe having, let's try a soft, where's my brush shelf? There it is. All even that is interesting. If we just get a light blocker in front of it. I don't know, which one has more merit to you guys? Just a straight fade into darkness? Because that'd be quite easy to do, I can just put a light blocker there. Although I feel like it would need to kind of bend around the head a bit more. Like that. That looks quite cool. We're kind of getting that breaking up effect though. So maybe that is the way to go about it. I just think that looks so much cooler. And that would allow us to get this kind of rim light in really strong in a very nice way. Combining the two doesn't really work. Straight speaking, this one's more photographic. This one is more artistic. I just got to figure out a way to make it look good, because this does not. Where's the sketch brush I was using? Oh, it's a painting brush, wasn't it? Is it this one? I don't think it was. Oh, wasn't you. Although maybe you're a good brush for this. Break up the edge a little bit. Let's pull the neck in a bit actually. Just got to figure out a nice image. That effect is cool. So let's get these out. What is Critter? Critter's just a free Photoshop, basically. No, it definitely needs to go to complete blackness, doesn't it? It's a lot more interesting going to complete blackness. Oh, I don't know. Anyway, we'll get back to that. Dental cast. Let's look at teeth again. My teeth sculpt's super blobby right now. Well, teeth sculpt, not sculpts. Oh, I should bring this on screen. Is this seriously the biggest image? You can kind of see some information. I have no idea how to sculpt this sort of effect. Oh. Get rid of you. That's too soft. There we go. Where did that image go? Did I put it behind my ZBrush? I did. Drag you over here. Kill this. I just need something to give it some kind of geometric detail. Do I have any alphas that would be good for this? Or drag dot. Let's try you. So I guess it's better for creature teeth, not human ones. But gives it something, right? See, the problem I've got isn't the surface detail, it's the actual shape of the teeth, but I've just ran out of fucks to give, to be honest. Just add a bit of stuff at the bottom here. Dab smooth it in. When I say dab smooth, I mean like I'm not doing brush strokes with a smooth, I'm like rapidly tapping with a smooth. It gives me more of an uneven smoothing effect, which I find is quite helpful for anything that's supposed to feel hard. That might be enough. So it just needs textures now. Alright, so kind of bad. That'll do. So, you just duplicate this guy. So I need to delete the highest level of geometry. Z plugin. UV master, turn off symmetry, unwrap. Flatten. Why does it cut it so badly? Okay, so unflatten. What I'm going to do is go into Maya. Let's go export. Just UV it in Maya. Oh, I need to also reconvert the scatterbrain today, Jesus. Reconvert that. Right, so file, import. Oh, it's one of those, so it's not cut. The UVs, sorry, the topology kind of wraps around. Well, that one doesn't. Which one was I looking at? Oh, it doesn't. Oh, I was just reading it wrong. Hello, Becca. I have a question. So, this is...
It's so bizarrely now.
Well, I'm just trying to figure out something interesting for this side view. So what I'm thinking is, obviously this is the current lighting, but to me it feels a bit uninteresting. So option number one is to add something to block light and kind of fade the head into black. Option number two is like a disintegration type paint thing. No? Not your thing?
I don't like either of them.
You don't like either?
No.
Oh, great.
Let me check out her and stuff. She does really cool lighting stuff.
So I really want to do this pink and green thing.
Yeah, she does lighting like that. It's just getting something that feels right.
Yeah, I mean that is just painted in, like the actual lighting would be a bit better because it would be physical.
Why don't you do something more intense
What do you mean more intense?
in terms of the...
This isn't intense.
No, but something more...
No, I don't really like that style. Becca just showed me an image where like the key light is just insanely strong and there's no other bounce light. It's just not my kind of thing. I don't really like that kind of thing. I kind of want something that's more rim lighty.
You could, but I think the colours work.
Like the screen reflection.
The reds work better, I think.
I'm not too keen on it. Right, so mapping. Plane them up Z. Then cut U, UV editor. Cut. There we go. Got those, export them back out. File, export selection. Nope. So let's put you over teeth. Go back into ZBrush. Import. Z plugin. UV master. Flatten. There we go. Unflatten. Subtool. Geometry. Where are you? Modify topology. Nope. It's not what I want. Oh, it's in subtool, that's why. What are you singing, Becca?
I can't really know it.
I feel like I recognise it.
It's a Lumineers song.
Alright, so we got some super basic teeth in place. So now what I need to do is go Z plugin, multi-app exporter, that's what I want. 32-bit displacement for some teeth. Sure, why not? I hate the naming. Why is that naming? 4K is definitely overkill, so I just didn't change it. Rename, let's get rid of that.
I'm gonna ask you for some feedback.
Sure. Pick images. PXR displace. PXR texture. Udem. I need to put both of those in a folder. New folder. Z disk, just to keep with the conventions I'm doing. Go into Mari, open you back up. I realised I missed a message. She looks to be staring into space, some kind of the hair on the side of the shot. It looks much more thinned out. Perhaps not here, chocolate side. I'm not sure I really understand the message, I'm afraid. Objects. Add object. For the record, the caruncle and the teeth should definitely be part of the head object in terms of texturing, at least for the way I like to texture. Add channel, call. I'm just going to set you to 2K. So what do? Hide the head to begin with. I'm going to need to texture the rest of the caruncle, I think. But for now, that's fine. Let's go into the node graph. Already got a paint in there, that's good. Image manager. So this is going to be all over the place. Something like that is a relatively close match. So let's just paint that on there. Obviously the lighting and the shadows and everything's going to cause chaos, but I always like just to start with a projection. Just so at very least I can colour pick and correct from there. So, what do we need to do now? We need to pick a base colour, so let's go into merge. I think the base colour should be quite blue, right? Because then I add like enamel on top. So let's go with a colour. And colour pick something that's quite blue. So let's go with U. So that should be more blue, I think. And then we need to add a enamel layer on top. So let's just go with merge. Color. And we'll go with the brightest point, which is just down here. I'm going to paint. Paint 2K is fine. So now we just need to paint our teeth. So is the sponge a bit too aggressive? Also, is my enamel a bit too orange? Yeah, the sponge is too aggressive. Let's try a different sponge. So she's got like a white punch down here. I'm going to set this to paint through as well. I'll switch this out for a more white colour. And the other side needs a pretty similar effect just here. So let's change the color now, because that's super brown. Lower saturation, higher value. Let's go into objects. So node graph, add a white patches merge. What am I painting on right now? Oh, because I'm not viewing it. Ugh. So, slow flow. Let's change to an organic brush. Sponge 4 maybe? I think sponge 3 might be one of the best ones, so I just need to set to low opacity. It's still too textured. Does Brad have a good brush? That 2 feels way too dirty. Let's use slow flow again. Probably super, like, way too noisy, but I got a feeling the colour's off as well. Let's give it a go though. So export flattened, export current channel. Let's go with into Maya. XR texture. Then do we have clear coat on here? Cool. Where is it? Oh, just saw a message from you, Oscar. Well, from an expression point of view, we get stared quite often directly into our eye. Daily situations, reading neutrality faces. But it happens quite often when we get smiled to. It has an effect on us. If we read an expression of discomfort, we tend to look away quickly, but staring is more or less our neutral position of a face expression. How I read the opponent. So it's basically just you don't think the side view will work because she's not looking at the camera. Or have I missed something? Pick images. I've probably missed something. Teeth, call. So we'll worry about getting that in a sec. Let's test our front view. So IPR. So Oscar, do you think maybe rotating the eyes to kind of look even further off of frame, so like look to her left a little bit, do you think that will help?
Did you do teeth yet?
I just textured something quickly, yeah. It's the first pass, so it probably looked quite bad. Oh, I just realised I forgot to gamma correct it. Neuros. I also didn't plug in the actual texture. While this starts to render, I'm just going to mute my microphone and nip to the toilet. Back in a sec, guys. Turns out I didn't get this properly set up. So there we go. Should work this time. Let's try starting that render again. Right. What is it working button? Sure. Yeah, once you get some surface on the what it's missing at the moment is like a cavity effect. So like there's not enough definition between the strands.
See, right. Hang on a minute. There's this map which I accidentally didn't mean to create, but it's almost like, as you can see, it's acting as like a cavity.
Yeah, so that's more of an ambient occlusion. A cavity is a lot tighter. And what a cavity would do is basically draw lines between them. So it'd be super tight. You can get one out of substance pretty easily.
What's subsurface?
Just add a little bit, plug in the colour that you're using. And just keep it super low. Cloth like this needs a good subsurface to get reading correctly. And once you've got the cavity in that and the colour, that'll be good enough. If you want to match this exactly, I think the tiling should be less, because these are quite large. It's like 2 for an eye, whereas it was like 3.5 for an eye. But that's looking seriously good. I like that a lot. It literally just needs that
It
cavity.
feels a bit comfy, but yeah.
It needs the cavity. The cavity will fix that. It's literally that's all it needs.
So what I was gonna do for him was do this and then put a bit of material around it. Like if he made a shirt, all of the shirt I'll just put like a bit of material over it or something.
Yeah, do it. Alright, let's see how this.
Very tiny bit of subsurface.
Yeah, like very small amount. Cloth, it does have subsurface, but if you want it to stay defined, then yeah. What is your radius? Was this? Set your radius small. Oh wait. Yeah. The smaller you set that, the less gummy that will look, because it will be tighter. So I'd say make it a little bit bigger. And then once you've got that cavity map in there, that'd be good. It's probably worth turning the reflection down a bit as well.
It's actually
What's the roughness on it? What's the roughness?
I don't know why it's remapping, because it isn't very well. Yeah, see what I mean?
I think the roughness is too low.
Whenever I go to remap it, it's making it blue, but I don't know why.
If you want to try using the remap, I can find out what's going wrong with it. Right, okay, so back to here.
It's okay, it's remap.
Why did they move?
No. Still the same.
What's still the same?
The roughness look.
Okay.
So like, that's my roughness, right?
Yep.
Completely white.
Then, what other things do you have in there? And just turn reflection color down. Make it more subtle effects. Oh, it's not.
Yeah.
Do you have a sample info in there?
Huh?
You do. Oh, it's that. There you go.
Is it just too strong?
Yeah, you had it way too strong. Sample info should be underplayed normally. Right, so I want to know why these teeth have moved. I can match them back up to ref, but it's a bit annoying. What I'm gonna do is save my scene, go back into like, you know, a scene or two back. So let's go back to like here. Just export the teeth from here and just use them as a physical like guide. Just move things into place. So file, export selection, teeth temp. File, open. So So now I can delete that again. Let's try that. And I think I need to reduce the coat as well. I think what I'll do, I'll continue to work on this off stream. So it's already like 11 o'clock, so I'm going to call the stream off here. In fact, I think what I'll do just before that, I'm going to play with a light blocker, because that's something I can do quite quickly. Then I'll come back into texture teeth. And then I think there'll be one more stream. And then I'm going to call the project done. At long fucking last. So with this stream being 3 hours, that means so far there's 107 hours of live streams on this, plus an extra 16 hours or so of me working on it off stream over the last 3 months. It's a long time to be working on one asset, and you know, that's not a professional thing. So I'm gonna close Mari. I'm gonna close this as well. Modeling, ZBrush, scenes, save over the latest one. So let's go to render cam B. Cube. I'm gonna put a PXL black on this guy. So it's just a light blocker. I could set it up as a light blocker, but PXL black is just fine. And then primary visibility, I guess we want to turn off, which I don't know where that is. Oh, let's just realize I need to add. There we go, that will help a little bit. And we need to get the caruncle as well. Cool. So, where's visibility overrides? Is it render stats? Does this one work? Give it a moment to cache. It's got quite a lot of work to do right now. I'm not sure how I feel about tomorrow being my last day at NPC. Like, I'm excited to do new stuff, but I'm also kind of sad. So, where do you need to be to block the light? Higher, apparently. I think that looks kind of interesting, personally. I'm not sure about having this guy. Rim light's kind of interesting on its own, but at the same time, not really. I'm gonna give that a try. Yeah, I'll have to look into some commercial photographers and see what they can do with a subject looking off screen. Hey, it's Nick.
Is it our Nick?
Yeah, it's a Nick.
Fuck.
What the fuck you doing here, bro?
Nick, I showed Mike the rest, the end of the Worthy Kids videos.
so we're gonna need.
I just realised what character you're coding.
What? The douche.
The douche.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't do the voice, but I can just go deep and.
I can't remember. I sucked the juice box's dick. Surprisingly, I could do more of a male impersonation. You like animated content? Look no further.
Whoa.
That's fucked up, bro.
That's fucked up, bro.
Suck the juice box's dick.
You sound like you've got like mental deficiencies when you do that accent.
I'm sorry, bro.
I'm sorry, bro. That's what you sound like.
I'm trying to do my best.
Oh.
Avocado impersonation. Let me
Don't do an impression of Nikocado Avocado.
We're back home.
No.
We're back home. I like cheese.
You still haven't told us why you're leaving NPC, did you? I got a better opportunity elsewhere.
Why do you sound like someone's held a gun to your head saying that?
Because I don't like to talk shit about studios.
You got a better opportunity.
Yeah, I got a better opportunity. I've been treated incredibly well for standards. Oh, I don't like the purple here.
It doesn't like you.
I quite like having. I'm really not sure if I like having this green rim light here. I hate this purple. What?
I'm mad.
What?
Ask me why I'm mad.
Why are you mad, Becca?
Because the girl in Wendy's give me my fries wrong.
Oh no.
I'm mad.
Right.
I'm so quoting Nikocado Avocado. There's a woman feeding the cats. That's my favorite.
Stop feeding the cat.
Stop feeding the stray cats. He gets possessed and you're like, please stop. I don't know why I've been watching this, and then I watched the funny ones where they fight. It's not really funny because he's literally just dramatizing abuse, domestic violence, him and his partner. But there's some of them get really sexual really quickly because it's him just like chewing food and he's definitely doing it in a sexual way. For all the kink people out there.
Don't do that.
No, thank you.
What am I doing?
I asked why you're leaving NPC.
Oscar. And he put KK when I replied with better opportunities, TM.
You fell for it. You had good treatment.
No, I did get treated incredibly well.
I enjoyed my time working there, even if it was short.
Yeah, there's just the industry itself is fucked at the moment.
Yeah, there's
Being given the opportunity to get out of the industry is just like, yeah, I'll take it.
For anyone not wondering what industry, the film industry.
Yeah, the film industry. The film industry is pretty sucky at the moment. Yeah, I'm not saying every studio is fucked. Most studios are, no, I wouldn't say most. Quite a few studios are doing fine.
No, VFX seems to have taken a massive hit. Like,
Oh yeah, well VFX. I mean, every industry's taken a massive hit, but VFX is suffering a lot more than animation.
I know a lot of people say about NPC, but all the major studios are like old people.
Yeah.
And it's just the way it has been. It's not nothing personal.
Except from ILM. ILM, as far as more, has expanded. No?
No, I don't.
I'm completely drawing a blank right now. What am I supposed to be doing? Okay, let's get some depth of field on there, shall we?
Nick, should I go to bed? Yes, no, maybe so.
At the moment, better have a foot in any industry that still makes money. Yep, for sure. That doesn't include trucks.
Is that Nick?
No, Oscar.
Well, Oscar, let me tell you about a gentleman who messaged me during the week asking me
Oh
for pictures.
God.
And I told him I would give him a photo of my feet for 50 points. But then he got weird, so then I stopped.
Then he got weird.
He got weird, and then he asked me did I have photos of my tits, and I was like, nah, no thank you. Feet are different, because you know, you can get a photo of a foot in a catalogue, in a stock photo. You can Google people in sandals on YouTube.
Not a subtle thing I'm kind of digging. The very sudden change between purple and aqua, just here. Hey, Becca. Oh, it's gone. Look. Oh, lord, this.
See, this is what your flip normals tutorials are going to be fucking missing, is my stories of why am I weird.
I can't film my flip normals tutorials because the house is too loud. Let alone you. Like, I can literally only record the flip normals tutorials when the house is completely empty because any background noise is too much background noise. So it's just like, I've got 3 videos done so far out of 20? 21, maybe?
Well, I can fly home a weekend anyway. You're off for a week, so...
I am off for a week, but you're here the whole week.
Yeah, but you could try recording on the same recording, so I am only...
Yeah.
Because
It's more just the nerves, because I have to retake the same video 3 or 4 times, because, like...
Well, I'm here anyway, and I listen to you fuck up all the time, so it should be fine.
Yeah, but now I'm fucking up with actual pressure. When I fuck up in the streams, and it's like, oh, it's just a few people saying it, and, you know, even though...
Okay, I'll tell you when you fuck up during it.
Don't tell me when I fuck up, because that would really throw me off.
But I used to help with teaching.
How are people into feats? Man, you're doing flip normals. Yeah, so I'm making a tutorial for flip normals. I've got 3 videos done so far. I'm doing an introduction to XGen. Did I get rid of the purple? Oh, I did. Oh, but I blocked too much light in the process. Alright, so let's... I think I need to edge that back forward.
Wow. That was a drink.
My father was a tank. I don't have a real father, I just associate this tank with my father.
Why? Nick is just milling. Why feet? I sent him the messages like a weird person.
Why feet? Because wifey. I don't know. End me. Here's my light blocker. Can you tell this scene isn't going to be animated? With these fucking light blockers in use.
Perfect.
How do they work? I usually listen to the 2 guys. They're quite fun. I didn't know others are doing tuts for them too. So they're actually a platform. And why flip normals? So I'm friends with one of them, a guy called Henning. I've never actually, well, I think I've met Morton once. But I am pretty decent friends with Henning. I also taught him, I taught him how to use XGen for his Introduction to Maya series. And so this is all public, like he posted about it on Twitter.
You're not checking your NDA.
No, he did. Well, there's no NDA. I actually don't have an NDA with flip normals. They were just like, as long as you don't share things that we send you. So like, you know, well, don't share the money. That's against NDA. No, like they've sent me like a document. Oh, here's how we record tutorials. Here's how we do this. Here's how we do it. They don't want me to share that. They just want me to do it. Granted, it's knowledge that I've now got and I can use again in future. But you know, I just can't post or... Well, I think I can talk about them, but I'd rather not while I'm finishing the tutorial, just so I'm not in a grey area. I'll chat to Henning about that at some point. But yeah, it's like... they do all the tutorials for their channel, but on their website they have like premium tutorials. Some that are officially kind of put forward by the guys at Flip Normals, and some that are just posted. So the one that I'm doing is an exclusive series, which is one that's posted by Henning and Morton. So I'm not being paid royalties on the tutorial like the other tutorials on the site. Like if you buy stuff, you know, the creator gets a cut and Flip Normals get a cut. I'm just straight up being paid like lump sum at the beginning, and then they get the profits. But obviously I'm being paid like a good amount of money for it. So granted, it's more work than I expected going in, but I'm still getting paid pretty well for it, and it's still, you know, a fun experience to work with them. So
getting paid more than my feet photo.
I'm getting paid more than 50 quid.
Just to clarify, I may or may not have sent the feet photo. Okay?
You didn't send the feet photo. You don't want that clip on the internet, Becca.
My feet are horrible
Filthy little hobbit feet.
I don't have hobbit feet. Crusty ass motherfucker. I don't know why I keep singing the fucking Mikado.
I think it's time to end the song. End the stream as well. Just because I'm literally just waiting on a render to start, and then I'll be doing
No, we're staying.
2 clean renders, and then the next stream I do will be finishing the project. I'm not sure what I'll work on, but next stream we'll be finishing the project. Are you quite okay, Becca? Anyway, I'm gonna head off, guys. Enjoy the rest of your night, and I'll be back streaming on Saturday, I think. Shut up, Becca. Right, see you later, guys.
Bye, guys.
Have a good night.
It's Nicole.
Will you shut up? I ended the stream on, will you